Because what she has given me, I'm telling you, even if you give me 10 billion, I couldn't pay you. I can't pay you. It's a gift. How do you think someone who gives you $10 billion spend $100 on the gift, and even 1,000? It's nothing, right? You see what it is? There are certain gifts. It's more money, it's more thing. You can't pay for it. Right? It's from another world. So now listen again. Rain comes from the world where my avodah reaches. I do so much, and God is a good accountant. I deserve so much, and that's it. Dew, and here comes this whole thing. The dew comes from a world where I don't reach. But you know what God says to me? The Rebbe says, why do you do this to me? Why did you just ask me for rain? Why did you ask me for dew? You know what God says? Don't you know that your prayers do reach to that place where the dew is? You know something? This is so deep. You know, sometimes a person can give me $10 million, and where do they reach inside of me? I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much. And then one person can give me one good word, and it reaches where $10 million don't reach. It's somewhere else, right? So he says that we even thought when you serve God, you can only reach where avodah reaches. Avodah is a business deal. Because the Torah says so. The Torah says if you serve God, there'll be rain. But God says, no, you're wrong. And you see what it is? On Pesach, this is so beautiful. For Shoni Yom Kippur we pray for rain. Because what's Shoni Yom Kippur all about? It's a business deal. On a very holy level, but still business. I owe God so much, He owes me so much. I say, Rabban Shlomo, I learned day and night, so you should give me a better year. It's all measured. It's all measured. Pesach, is there enough Torah mitzvahs which you can do to deserve freedom? Freedom you can't buy. But you know what Seder night is? What's the beginning of Yiddishkeit? The beginning of Yiddishkeit is that I know that I reach God in the deepest, humanly speaking, in the deepest place of God. Mom is the deepest place. I don't even have a way of explaining it. It doesn't need explanation, but just... I mean, it's every day. You know, sometimes the person says to you, how are you? So what? You say good, right? And sometimes a person can say to you, how do you really feel, right? The deepest, right? Deepest, deepest, deepest. And you see the holiness of Pesach is, as I mentioned before, Pesach is Shabbos HaGolah. Pesach is the day when we enter with God into a business deal, because that's when we became Yidden. So I would say, you know, it's crazy. Pesach should be rain. And maybe Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we ask for a special gift, should be dew. It's the other way around. The beginning is Pesach. The beginning is Pesach, that suddenly it's clear to me, even if I do everything 100% right, even if I serve God, like the Ishbitz said, for 1,000 lifetimes, I still don't deserve what God gives me. You know, I bless every one of his children. But just imagine, you know. I'll say, God, you know, listen to me, God. I don't have children yet. I promise you I'll learn every day for 1 hour. Or for this, give me children. It's sweet, right? It doesn't reach there, right? But you know what God does? After I have children, God says to me, you know why I gave it to you? Because you're learning every day 1 hour. It's gewalt, right? You see what God is telling us. The depths of Avodas Hashem, you know? You see, I want you to know something. Without knocking everything else. Why doesn't Moshe Rabbeinu come and say, if you do good, you go to heaven. If you do wrong, you go to hell? This is all business deals, right? All religions are business deals. You know, if you meditate, you have peace of mind. If you do this, they all give you gifts. I mean, they're all the price. Moshe Rabbeinu, you see, it's so deep. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say in the Torah, okay, when you're from, God will give you a gift. Do. It doesn't say this way. Because the moment, I would say, for learning, I get a gift. It's part of the business deal, right? Like they announce in the newspapers, if you buy 2 suits, they give you 1 suit as a bonus, right? So basically, it's included in the price. You know, Seder night, I don't even know how to say it, which is so deep. So he says, therefore Moshe Rabbeinu, listen to this. Okay, Inyan Shemotzinu Gabe Moshe Rabbeinu, Shispalel, Shigiten and Shizor Matnas Chinam. You know, the most important thing one has to walk away from this Torah is, on one hand, God is so strict. The Gemara says, there's an accountant in heaven. Mamish, they keep me posted. Sadly enough. It is 100%. 5 Shabbos I keep, 10 Shabbos I don't. There's a book on me in heaven, right? And on the other hand, for the 10 Shabbos I did keep, my reward is not in proportion with the 10 Shabbos. My reward is that God gives me infinite. Infinite. Once you know the deepest depths, Torah Shebiksav is basically a business level. Again, holy, but still business. You know, Torah Shebiksav, the written Torah, is exactly so many words are in the Torah. I cannot, David and I decided there are a few things missing in the Torah, we'll write them in. So we go this way, right? And even Micha will come and say, hey, yeah, it would be beautiful. It would change so much, right? Exactly so many words, so many letters, and everything is mamish, that's what it is. And by Matthias says, "Vayidaber Elokim is kol advar me'elema." It's crazy. The Torah, Reise Migvor Nafkes, it's mamish. It's like summer, winter, day and night. It is mamish, a straight deal. Bless you. And yet, why do we start with Pesach, not with Shavuos? Because Pesach, the first thing Yid has to know, even if I do every word of the Torah, what God gives me is not because I deserve it. God gives it to me because it is clear to me that's a gift. And I want you to do something awesome. You know, if you have good manners, you go to a grocery store, buy herring, don't you say thank you? You say thank you, right? Why are we Yidden called Yidden? Meloshen Yehuda, Parmoides Hashem. Thinking it. Why am I thinking all the time? Crazy. I deserve it. It's clear to me I don't deserve it. Meaning to say, what God gives me comes from such a high place. But you know, you need vessels for this unbelievable gift. You know, like the Gemara says, if someone gives you beautiful wine, don't come with a glass full of herring. You've got to come with good plates. And you see, on Pesach, this is so deep. This is mamish deep, you know. I'm sure you've been at some of our weddings. When you put on the ring on the woman's finger, mamish, it has to be clear that she has nothing in her hands. Remember, I always make the Edim sure that they see no ring on, she has nothing, right? What's a real gift? Mamish, I have nothing. I have nothing. Oh, thank you so much, right? You know why I can't have a little crumb of chometz in my hands when God gives me Pesach? Like I have a little chometz here, and it's, oh, here, you know, I can't give you my 2 fingers, I'm holding something else. You see, when I buy in the grocery store and I pay, I can take the herring in my hand, and the other hand I have some herring from another store, right? A gift? I have nothing. So you see, Pesach, Vimamish has throughout everything we have. Not even 1 crumb is left. Not even 1 crumb. And I want you to know, remember we were learning it, the way we clean for Pesach is Mamish Torah Shabbal Peh. Because it doesn't say anywhere in the Torah you have to make yourself so crazy. We're making ourselves crazy. You know what the Kuzma said? Remember the Kuzma and the Obshetzer says Frum? Frum is the initials, viel Rishes, wenig mitzvahs, you know? A lot of evil and very few mitzvahs, right? You know, a lot of Frum people, you know, they, because they're a little bit Frum, they permit themselves to do everything. They yell, they hit, they're disgusting, right? That's Frum, right? So the Heilige Kuzma says, all the chumras all year long are no good. Because when you have all those chumras, then you become frum. Right? You know? If I would walk around all day with talis and tefillin, right? I walk around, I really think I'm holy, right? I look in the mirror and I think, wow, I can't believe it, you know? I make myself into an idol, right? And how many people do that? You remember the Heilige Rovshitzer? And Rovshitz was a Yid who was fasting from Shabbos to Shabbos. But he always made sure that everybody knows he's fasting the whole week. So one time the Rovshitzer passed by, and the Rovshitzer, you know, he was so clever. He pushed a little boy, and this boy fell on top of this Yid. So Rovshitzer says to the little boy, how dare you pushing a man who's fasting Monday and Thursday? So the Yid got very angry. What? Monday and Thursday? I'm fasting all week. Yeah. Well, what's the first thing? I want you to know something very, 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 yeah, what do you want to say? Yeah. It's a gift question or business question?
All the time. Between our husbands.
What?
When we're working all
Yeah.
How do we rid ourselves of the last bit of hummus, which is the hummus of wanting to receive all of the gifts that we'll receive from the fact that we feed our household?
Listen, Chanana, you're asking always, since I know you, you always ask good questions. I want you to know something. Let me just finish what the Kuzma said. The Kuzma said, all those chumras, all the super frumis, all year long I can't stand. One time a year, it's a must. It's on Pesach. Because on Pesach you can't do enough. You know, if you are a little bit aware what God is giving you, if you are aware what God is giving you on Pesach, there can't be enough. Can't be enough. You see what it is? I want you to know something, Hannah. Even the cleaning is also a gift from God. Everything is a gift. You know, there's such a thing in the Gemara, that someone gives you a gift, not only the gift is a gift, the giving is a gift. You know? And the meeting you to give you the gift is also a gift, right? And just the giving of the gift, thinking of it is also, it's a gift, right? Everything. You know what it is? It is possible to clean the house for Pesach and then sit by the Seder table angry. You know what that means? That God really didn't give you the gift of Pesach. Didn't give it to you. God forbid. But anyway, I want you to know something awesome. What is the rain and the dew when it comes to the tree? On a very simple level. The tree cannot grow without water, right? The water of, that's the Socher Shabbatar. The water of the rain makes you grow, right? What does it do to the tree? That's really gewalt, you know. Do you know that every tree has a little bit of a vision what kind of apples he would like to have? That's what the dew does to you. Hours from heaven, right? You know what the tree wants apples which are beyond the capacity of the tree to produce. You know, gewalt apples. Remember the Baal Shem Tov says the taste of the apples is a prayer of the tree. If a tree says, praying, God give me apples, God gives you apples. And here this is in the Beis Yaakov and Vayikra, it's so beautiful. You know, just humanly speaking. So the tree closes his eyes, right? And he says, Rabbeinu Shalom, next summer, do you know how many children are coming to take off my apples? Can I please surprise them? It's the most beautiful apples. Not for my sake. You know, this is so deep. the Ishbitz says that do put something in the tree. He wants to give so much to the world. First of all, he wants to give the most beautiful shade in the world. The tree says to God, you know, if I have so many branches and so many leaves, you know how many people can sit in my shade and be so happy? Basically, what the Ishbitz says, winter and summer is, in the winter the tree closes up from the world. The tree is not interested in doing anything for somebody else. Summer is when suddenly God opens the tree, nature, They want to give, they want to do something. You know, it sounds so simple, you know. You know, to have Gewalt children doesn't happen, not on a business deal. You know, sometimes it happens maybe without your prayers, because I don't know, God wants, by Terach and Avram, right? God needs Avram to be there, so he was there, right? Remember the Shinuvas Torah? Shinuvas Torah says, if you have children and you can't sleep at night, you're not a good parent, right? How can you sleep at night? How can you not pray all night long for your children? How can you, right? You know what it is? After midnight, God comes to Gan Eden, Zer Kodesh, and he prays with all the tzaddikim for all of Israel. Is that crazy? God is praying. God is praying. You know, I was once invited to talk to parents. It was on Chalamoid a long time ago. I said to them that most schools are rain schools. They treat the children like raindrops. But our children are dewdrops. They need completely different schools. Dewdrops, the Torah which a dewdrop needs, it's the deepest Torah in the world. Okay, let's learn just a few more lines. וזהו נאמר שבירוס הפסוק וחנויס השעוכן. The Wisdom says, I will have compassion if someone doesn't deserve it. Heine mi shemake heite v'anachnu mo. Klomish em bekor kol avoidus lo betan et yitzvah. This is just very good to know. Why was Moshe Rabbeinu chosen to receive the Torah on Mount Sinai? There was nobody like Moshe Rabbeinu who mamish knew that he don't deserve the Torah. There was nobody like Moshe Rabbeinu who knew you can be the biggest tzaddik in the world. You can do everything from top to bottom. But to understand one page of the Gemara is mamish a gift. And here I want you to know the deepest depths. When I go and buy some herring in the grocery store, am I overwhelmed with emotion? I'm running to the grocery store and kiss them like crazy. Thank you so much for the herring. Why is it when someone gives me a small gift, I have the urge to kiss them? It's a gift, right? You know, when I study physics, why don't I kiss the book like mad? Because it's not a gift. I have a good head, let's assume I'm studying physics, I learn the book, get the information, I know it. When I learn one page of the Gemara, and I mamish know it a little bit, I can't stop thinking the Gemara. I can't stop thinking the Torah. You know, why are we kissing the... I have to tell you this is in Gewalt, one of my best stories, really. If I may say so most humbly. I don't know who was with me. I don't know if Micha was with me then, or Dovital. A few years ago, I was here some Torah, maybe Mimi was with us, I don't know. I was some Torah on the Moshav, and after that, without mentioning names, we had a concert. Were you with us? It must have been with us one of those days, when, whatever it is. I'm coming to the city without mentioning names. And the mayor of the city greets us, you know, Hakafot Shniyot, you know, the whole city is there, thousands of people, thousands. And the mayor comes to me and he says, I also came, and I want you to know, to make it very clear, I didn't come because I'm religious. For me, some story is meaningless. I just came because I like your music. Okay, motherfucker. You know, then they have those big Sefer Torahs, and they give one to the mayor, one to the rabbi, one to the gabber, one to shamas, one to the thief, and one to the king, you know, everybody, all those officials. And they walk around, and there are thousands of people on the marketplace, and the kids jump and kiss the Torah 100 times. It was exactly an hour and a half. It's beautiful. Then the Torahs come back, right? We stop singing. It's Yontif. He says to me, I changed my mind. Ifsakti liyot chiloni. I'm not a chiloni anymore. He says, you know something? I'm teaching English literature in the University of Tel Aviv. He says, I thought to myself, imagine I take Shakespeare and I walk around in the marketplace. Would anybody feel the urge of kissing the book? Would thousands of kids with glowing eyes jump on me to kiss it? Not in 2 billion years, right? So obviously the Torah is from heaven. He says only something heavenly can make you want to kiss it so much. Now listen to this. Rain is still not heaven because it's produced here and it's coming down. Okay, it's the sky. Dew comes from heaven. We don't say Migeshem HaShemayim. Vital HaShemayim, right? One more Torah here. Just a little bit on page 83. Anybody wants to tell me something right this second? Right now I'm open for business. 83. Also on town. Oh, that's 88? 89.
89.
Okay, Rabbi, let's give me 5 minutes to learn this fast. How are we doing? Okay? Yeah? Want to say something right now? Yeah, tell me. Yeah. Rabbi, he's asking me the deepest question of this brother here. Basically, when it says, if you hate gifts, then you live long. You know what it basically means? I don't want to say anything bad. If you're a schnorrer and all you want to live on gifts, the Maharal says then your life is, you can never unfold. You cannot unfold yourself, you cannot unfold your life. Because you're depending all the time on somebody else, on gifts. You know, maybe you think you like gifts, but deep inside, you absolutely disrespect yourself. Because why don't I do it on my own, right? Listen to me, you know something? I have enough friends here. I could sleep every night in somebody else's house. Eat 3 times a day by somebody else, right? I could do it, right? But where would I be? not what I want to be. No. So it says, Soinu Matonas, you and you hate gifts. So your mama should. Simple as it is. But let me tell you, there's a very big difference between gifts from a human being and gifts from God, right? You know, I'll tell you something. From somebody I love the most, I don't ever mind getting a gift, right? Let me tell you something. I don't want to be married. You know why? Because every morning my wife gives me breakfast and I hate gifts. How does it sound to you? See, this is a kind of gift. You see what it is? It's a different kind of thing, right? It's the deepest connection between people. You know, say, thank you, God, for the gift of the Torah. I would say, God, don't give me the Torah. I hate gifts, right? From God. But it's a good kasha, you know.
In terms of the receiver, is a gift and the
You see what it is. Mama, she asking a deep question. First of all, I want you to know something before you even get involved. On Erev Pesach, you have to give a lot of tzedakah, right? There is no Yom Tiv where you are so tzedakah conscious like on Pesach, right? Mama should take care of the poor. Mama should want Umayin Hayedle. Edna's flying high on the Concorde, right? You hear? Sister Randy, you hear? Pesach is mamish because, again, on a business level, God is doing what I'm doing, right? Whatever I do, like rain has an echo in heaven. I give tzedakah, I give gifts, God also gives me gifts. But you remember we're learning, when you deserve it, God gives you gifts beyond your deserving. So, you know, the first halacha in Hilchos Pesach is mos chitim. Unbelievable. It's crazy, you know, if you want to give tzedakah, it would have to do with Pesach, right? All the Mefarshim ask. But the answer is very simple. That Avraham Avinu's holiday is Pesach. What's Avraham Avinu all about? Avraham Avinu is bringing down, Mamash, Avraham Avinu is bringing down God's love into the world. How did Avraham Avinu turn on the world to God? Maybe until Avraham Avinu were also people who just decent people, like serving God. But nobody told them how much God loves them. Well, you know something, without saying anything bad. I met this one person, sad enough, he belongs now to another religion. He went to yeshiva. I asked him, I can't understand. You went to yeshiva, now you're something else. He says, I'll tell you something. I went to yeshiva for 10 years. My rabbi never said the word, God loves you. Doesn't say it. I'll be giving them injections, how precious they are to God. You know, Reb Shlomo Carlebach and the Sefer Chovis Hatamidim? What's the whole Sefer all about? The whole Sefer is just one thing. To let you know, who's doing that? Moshe the water carrier, yeah? You know what it is? Mamish, the whole Sefer is about telling young people how important they are to God. What?
Available in a wonderful translation.
Yeah.
At Micha.
It's a must for every...
It's fantastic.
The best. Micha, she wants to buy the book even if it's $2,000.
It's called the Student's Obligation.
I don't like the title
It's a
so much.
terrible title, yeah. But
He talks about everything but obligation. I mean, yes, obligation, but did I tell you what my first obligation is? Keep on breathing. How does it sound to you? That's an obligation. Anything which has to do with life is not an obligation. Sure, it's an obligation. I'll do anything in the world to keep on breathing. But the word is not obligation, right? Aye. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's rain.
Yeah.
Davening in the room all the time.
All the time.
You realize what you're doing. That's a problem. I just wanted to, how does that go? When you're saying.
Listen, Micha, I tell you something awesome. Like 1 second before you walked in, I was telling this. No, it's okay, but I didn't make it so clear like you now. Like you're doing it now. You know, I said that sometimes you pray for something, but it's so unconscious, super conscious, you don't even dare praying for it. You don't even dare asking God for it. Because it's such a high place, right? You know, I can ask God, give me parnasa, right? Do I ever have the chutzpah to say, God, give me $2 billion? Want to build new yeshivas all over the world? Because yeshivas the way they are, they're mamash ruining our children. I wouldn't have the chutzpah to ask. Because it's beyond my reach. But maybe inside I'm praying for it, right? Mickey, you know, we need new yeshivas in the worst way, you know. It's not to be believed, right? You know what's so heartbreaking? Imagine somebody is bankrupt, and then they have a convention. I have to tell you something. Hey, Mickey, you here? Someone asked me once, could you describe to me a convention of rabbis? I say, I'll tell you what it is. When I was still young and humble, and I would go to yeshiva, then our dream was Camp Mesivta in Ferndale. It's an alter zerbrochene camp, you know. 5-star down, not 5-star up. But for us to be in the mountains for 6 weeks, I mean, who cares if you sleep in the bunk, outside the bunk, if you have food or not, you're in the mountains, you're on around like crazy. It was beautiful. Anyway, so I'm sitting on this bus going up to the mountains. It's an old, like, also 5-star bus. And behind me, I hear 2 voices. John Fisher. I hear a man and a woman talk to each other. She says, I want you to know I'm the best paid model in Saks Fifth Avenue. And I get $2,000 an hour. I mean, before even you get involved in the depths, if you get $2,000 an hour, you're sitting on this 5-star bus going up to Ferndale. If I get $2,000 an hour, I go to the Munich, I go to Pulka, up to Ferndale, and in a bus. And she keeps on talking about her success. She is just modeling now new bathing suits. Then the man starts telling her that he is one of the most successful stockbrokers, and his office is on Wall Street. And the whole time I want to open my eyes and see who it is, but I was just too tired to open them. I try again, I fall asleep. Finally I open my eyes. Listen to this. He is never a little hobo. And he wears his bar mitzvah shirt. I don't want to say anything bad, but it looks to me like he hasn't taken a shower, maybe also since his bar mitzvah. And never a broken person, right? And she is Mrs. Hobo. Never, she dyed her hair red, but not a human red. I'm telling you, Mom, an inhuman red. It hurts you. And never, God should have compassion. Never, she has no teeth. And you know what it was? They were both so happy I mean, they knew they were lying to each other, right? But you know what they were telling each other? Their dreams, right? And they were so happy. I said, you know, at the convention of rabbis, it's the same thing. They're telling it. With Maven, yeah. You know, the Zionist convention, telling stories. How thousands of kids want to go to Israel. How their shluchim are so successful. Unbelievable. Never, right? Chaim. Let's learn about, we're going to do just one more second. Just remember on Rosh Hashanah, on Yom Kippur, the culmination is Shmini Atzeres, we pray for rain. Between Purim and Pesach is a shift. The shift from deserving it to gifts. The beginning is with Purim Shlachmanas, giving gifts. And we awaken in heaven, right? And one more thing, you know. When you receive a gift from someone you don't love so much, you really don't like to take the gift. I'm taking it, thank you very much, right? The first thing is, Esther says, Lech Genois es kol Yehudim. Get the Yidden together. Because how close are you to God? As close as you are to Yidden, right? If you're very close to God, then you receive gifts in such a beautiful, deep way. Okay, here's one thing he adds. And I don't think Imam is so deep. Everything in this world needs vessels. Electricity needs vessels. The Torah needs vessels. Then there is something so deep which has no vessels. Oh, this is from another world, right? His rain has vessels. Rain is part of the world which is light and vessels. When I pray, I make a vessel for the rain to come, right? Dew comes from a place. There are no vessels for dew. It's beyond vessels. Mamish infinite, right? Mamish infinite. You know, friends, when are we feeding this infiniteness inside of us? You know, we have such longing for something infinite, something so deep, right? And he says, Mamish, the way the Rebbe Shlomo gives it to us is beyond heaven. He says that Moshe Rabbeinu was giving us man from heaven. You know what man is? It's some holy energy from heaven which really doesn't have earthly vessels, doesn't have. I can't even describe it. I don't know what it is. I cannot say it's Coca-Cola, I cannot say it's juice, I don't know what it is. It just is. He says, what's happening when we go to Eretz Yisrael? Eretz Yisrael is already a land with vessels, right? The desert, we had no vessels. Eretz Yisrael is vessels. Moshe Rabbeinu is dew. Yeshua is rain. But what do we do, you know? When we pray for dew, we're making vessels for the dew. You know something, you have to, I want to tell you something. I was once read in the New York Times that next to Einstein, he lived in New Jersey, there was a little girl of 6, a little Jewish girl, and she always saw this uncle sitting there in the garden. And, you know, she was running around, dancing around, and she sees he's all day with numbers, you know what I mean. So one day she had to figure out something in mathematics. She thought this must be a good man to ask him. So she says to him, Uncle, could you help me here with my homework? Oh, you know, he was stuck a Rebbe, you know, big neshama. He said, oh, sure, I'll be so happy. If you have trouble tomorrow, come back. Slowly, he was making all the homework for her. And obviously she took a liking to him. And then he asked her, he says, you know, I told my teacher that I have this uncle who helps me. He wants to know your name. So he gave her a card. It says Einstein. You know, this teacher there, first grade school, blew his mind.